Here is our musical alphabet and what it looks like on the staff. In the first lesson you learned all about how this works, and I also mentioned that there were some other notes in between these. Those notes are basically higher or lower versions of what we already have here. So rather than just having 7 individual notes, we can have 12 individual notes. So let's take A. A sounds like this. A slightly higher pitched version of A, which we see right here, sounds like this. Again, A sounds like this. And a slightly lower pitched version of A would sound like this. To make a note slightly higher, we add this symbol, which we call a sharp. To make a note slightly lower, we add this symbol, which we call a flat. So this note is written as A, but it has a sharp sign right before it, so it's A sharp. Something kind of confusing is that on the staff we have the sharp sign come before the note, but when we're writing it or just talking about it, we have the sharp sign go after the note. I don't know why we do that, it's kind of silly. This note is written C, but it has a sharp sign right before it, so we call it C sharp. Knowing that the sharp or flat goes before the note, we can pretty easily fill in the next ones. Typically, because sharps raise the pitch of the note, if we have a line like this which is going up, we use sharps, but if we were to start from this top A and go down, we would probably use flats, and that would look like this. Here we have A, a note a little bit lower than A, which we call A flat, G, a note a little bit lower than G, which is G flat, F, E, and so on. Notice that there is no sharp or flat note between E and F and B and C. If you look at a piano, you'll see that there's no key between them, so we can't have a sharp or flat note between E and F or B and C. So let's see how this works a little more. So I have some notes here, G, A, B, C, D, E, D, F, G. And this is what it would sound like with no sharps or flats. And now let's say that I want to make this into an F sharp. Now that F is going to sound just a little bit higher. It'll sound like this. Sounds quite a bit different from. So we have another sign here, which we call a natural sign. It basically just means just play the regular note, no sharps, no flats. The reason we would use a natural sign is maybe if I had a bunch of F sharps previously, and I wanted to make sure that the player knew that this was an F natural. A lot of times they're put in music just as reminders, but if I had an F sharp here, then I would need to specify that this is an F natural. Let's say this is in 4/4, so this is one measure, and this is one measure. So if this was F sharp, then the sharp would carry through the rest of the measure. So if I didn't put a natural sign here, it would still be F sharp. So I'll show you how that works. Let's remove our natural sign, and this is how you would play it. Now let's put our natural sign back, and this is what it would sound like. Hear the difference? So in a nutshell, put a flat before a note to make it sound a little bit lower, put a sharp before a note to make it sound a little bit higher, and if you want them to just play the regular note, either don't put any sharps or any flats, or write a natural sign. And again, natural signs are often just to clear up confusion. If you have a piece with no sharps or flats, there's no need to have any natural signs. Now, sometimes you'll come across a piece that consistently has the same sharp or same flat, like B flat or F sharp. Instead of writing all of those sharps in every measure, we have a shortcut.